All right, ladies and gentlemen, scallywags and Neanderthals of all ages. On the bed tonight, the Mad Mix Cheap Whiskey Review number 23, Jack Daniel's Rye. Got a good deal on this one. Normally it would be 24 bucks. They were blowing it out for 19.99. In fact, it was such a good deal. I had a little bit of this last night, but it was such a good deal. I went back today to get me another one. And then a preview also as a preview of what's coming up. Obviously, I got another bottle of Jack Daniels. I mean, at 20 bucks. I love rye whiskey, but as you can see, coming up in the not cheap whiskey review, I got a pretty good haul today. My liquor store, in fact, they didn't even have them out yet. Wednesday's their delivery day. They didn't have them out yet. So I know the owners because I've known them since I was a teenager. I said, you get any Buffalo Trace in today? She's like, oh, we got some Blantons. And I was like, no. I was like, and they had regular Buffalo Trace already in the case, but they had a box behind the counter. I said, what's the odds you got any Eagle Rare in there? So she's like, oh, we did get one bottle of Eagle Rare. I said, perfect, I'll take it. And I had the Jack Daniels with it, you know what I mean? So as you know, I went out to I was hemming and hawing. I went out to my car. I sat in my car and I said, you know what? I said I better go back in and get a bottle of that Blanton's. You know what I mean? They got pretty good prices there. Not to get off track on these. We'll have a video on these coming up. You know what I mean? So tonight on the bed we got the Jack Daniel's Rye at 20 bucks a bottle. I paid for it. Got two of them. Can't beat that. Normally it would have been $23.99, so 24 bucks. So I saved $4. What's better than that? So let's have a whiff. Oh yeah, you can smell. It's got that typical, like bourbon-y smell. I know Jack Daniels isn't a bourbon. You don't have to comment in the comment section. I know it's Tennessee sipping whiskey, but in the background it's got that, that you can smell the charcoal. Like the charcoal mellowing. You really can. Kind of get a whiff of that. You get a little bit of the wood, but you also get that kind of, I don't know what you'd call it. Like I call it cinnamony, even though it doesn't smell like cinnamon. Cinnamon doesn't really have a smell. But it's kind of got that nice, it's kind of got that hint of mint in the background that rye sometimes have. You know what I mean? And, the barrel wood. I guess you'd get a little bit of that, whatever it is. It's good. It smells good. It smells smooth. You know what I mean? You can kind of tell it's a Jack Daniels. I don't drink regular Jack Daniels like ever. I haven't since I was a young kid, and I'd have Jack and Cokes or whatever. I'm not the biggest Jack Daniels fan, but one of the best bottles of whiskey I ever got in my life was a Jack Daniels single barrel rye. And it was like a $60 bottle, a $65 bottle, something like that. I don't remember the price, but it is one of the best rye whiskeys I've ever had in my life. That along with, there's a certain rye that I really, really like that cost probably 70 bucks. Why is it slipping my name? It begins with a W. I want to say Wilbus or Wilcox, but that's not it. It's not important, but it's a very good rye. It's not Woodford Reserve. Willet rye. In fact, in one of my videos, you can see me drinking it while I'm mashing in. But that Willet rye and that Jack Daniel's single barrel, a couple of best ryes I've ever had in my life. Fantastic. So I'm a rye whiskey fan. This smells good. Smells great. Smells like it should. Let's have a taste. Yep. It's got that rye spice to it. That little hint of mint in the background. Oh, there's something about rye whiskey that, as I've gotten older, I never drank rye whiskey when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I really like either rye whiskeys or bourbons and stuff that have a pretty good high, rye content in their mash bill. I've really gotten an appreciation for rye whiskey in my older age, and this is fantastic. You know what I mean? Yeah, the nose is very pleasant. It smells really good. Tastes really good. Hold on, let's get another one. Yeah. I mean, it's got a tiny little bite to it, but that could also be that rye spice. Let me put the glass down here and not make a disaster. It says here, Jack Daniel's Tennessee Rye brings together two classic ryes, distinctive flavor, drawn from our unique 70% rye grain bill and Jack's time-honored charcoal mellowing method. What it measures is a spicy whiskey that's sipping smooth, and I would agree with that. But if you know anything about what a lot of people try to sell off as rye, I mean, the most famous ryes in America are, come from that big distillery that sells off all their fucking shit, and the 95.5 mash bill from. They've changed hands now. They it's like an industrial size distilling operation. They recently changed their name. I think they either got bought out by one of the major distilleries, but their 95.5 mash bill is, famous. A lot of people buy their barrels, brand them as their own. I think even ones like Sazerac and other places like that, get theirs from MGP. That's what the name of it was. Don't ask me what MGP stands for. I really don't know. But yeah, this is good. Good rye. If you like rye whiskey, this has got all the flavors of rye whiskey. And at $20 a bottle, what I got it for, it's a very good buy. This is very good for $20. It's not, this is not in line with their single barrel rye. This is not in line with Willett's, small batch rye. But this is a very good rye. So I'm going to give Jack Daniel's Tennessee Rye Whiskey for $19.99. I'm going to give it an 8.3. I really like this. It's smooth. It has all the characteristics of a rye. It's very drinkable, very approachable. This is a very good rye whiskey. This probably you could probably make some good drinks with this, like, I don't know, Manhattans or whatever, some of those other mixed drinks are. This is good. So definitely gets my recommendation. So 8.3 on the Jack Daniel's Rye. Even if you got it at $24, I would say it's very much worth it. I mean, you can't go wrong. Jack Daniel's been around a while. They got this shit down. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't particularly like Jack Daniel's regular, number 9 or whatever whatever number it is. Like that Black Label regular Tennessee sipping whiskey. I'm not a fan. I have had some good stuff, like I said, single barrel Jack Daniel's stuff that was fantastic. I've seen lately they've come out with high age statement ones. I think they had a 10 and maybe a 12 year or something that came out. I saw one once, but it was like, fucking, they were asking like $200 for a 10-year-old Jack Daniels. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I ain't paying no $200 for a 10-year-old Jack Daniels. I can get 10-year-old fucking Buffalo Trace for $44. You know what I mean? What about that? What am I going to pay $200 for 10-year-old Jack Daniels for? Get the fuck out of here. So, very good. It gets my recommendation. If you see it in this price range, I paid 20, but normally it would go for 24. You find it in that price range, you could do a lot worse than this. I've had some other rides that were around this price range, between here and 30 or so dollars. Didn't really like them that much, like the Sazerac, and there are some other ones. I wish I could remember the names of them. I've only bought them once or twice in my life. I'd see them and say, I'll give it a try. And some of them, they were okay. But this is good. This is enjoyable. I like this one. This tastes really good. I didn't expect it to be as good as it is. So I recommend it. So with that being said, you guys have a good night. Be on the lookout. We got some Blantons and some Eagle Rare coming down the pipeline. And that will be obviously in the Not Cheap Whiskey Review series. But, you guys take care of yourself. Love your friends, love your family, and love cheap whiskey. Remember, I drink cheap whiskey so that you don't have to. See you later. Have a good night, everyone.